Chapter 1892, Gentle Betrayal. Following Commander Shan's instructions, Xian Haixu really started drinking seriously with the people around him. He looked around. This place was full of the upper class of the KG kingdom. Most people have a glass cabinet filled with the wine glasses they have received from their loved ones. He had to think about whether this was his only chance in life to change his fate and become a superior person. Lieutenant Colonel Chui Zhe came over with a glass of foreign wine and clinked glasses with him. You are a very lucky guy. The commander once stayed in Huashu Kingdom, and he particularly likes Cantonese cuisine. If you work hard for the commander in the future, you will benefit greatly. Xian Haixu quickly picked up the wine glass. His gratitude to Commander Shan was beyond words. I will always remember the Commander-in-Chief's kindness in my heart, and I can never repay it in my lifetime. After saying this, he actually drank a glass of strong foreign liquor in one gulp to show his sincerity. Ahem, ahem, ahem. Chui Zhe looked at his slightly funny appearance and reached out to pat him on the back in a friendly manner. Give everything you have for the commander. Someone came over and raised his glass to Xian Haixu. He clinked glasses with everyone, but his alcohol tolerance was too low. After drinking 2 more glasses, he lost consciousness. While waiting for Xian Haixu to wake up, there was a blinding light in front of him. The sunlight shone on his face through the glass window. He sat up in bed and felt a severe headache. Looking around, this is a place similar to a military dormitory with a very simple layout. He remembered what happened last night and felt ashamed and a little uneasy. Commander Shan thought so highly of him that he probably wanted to taste the food he cooked, but he didn't expect him to be so useless and soon got drunk. Xian Haixu put on his clothes and walked out of the room. There were 2 soldiers guarding outside. When they saw Xian Haixu wake up, they asked him to wait for a moment. Then they reported to someone using the communication equipment. Not long after, Chui Zhe came here. Xian Haixu said embarrassedly, I'm very sorry. I lost my composure yesterday. But Chui Zhe forced a smile on his serious face. You did a good job yesterday. Commander Shan admires people like you, who are generous. In the future you can enter the commander's mansion and cook for him. Xian Haixu was very grateful. He originally cooked for the officers of an official unit, but now he has been promoted to the imperial chef in the imperial kitchen. Both his treatment and status will be greatly improved. Thank you, great commander. Later, Chui Zhe actually personally sent Xian Haixu back, which made Xian Haixu flattered. He could see that Chui Zhe's position in the guards was not low. Xian Haixu returned to his home, holding the box containing the wine glasses tightly in his arms. He wanted to share this honor with his wife Li Qingmei. But when he returned home, he found that Li Qingmei was not at home. Xian Haixu felt a little strange. Li Qingmei was a writer who was responsible for writing manuscripts for some official media channels and did not need to go out to work. It was freezing outside, and she didn't like going out. Xian Haixu didn't think much about it. He was now a noble and respected emperor, and his wife would be envied by the women in the neighborhood. It's a good thing to go out more often. After all, this kind of thing has to be made known to other people. Xian Haixu waited for a whole day, and Li Qingmei didn't come back until the evening. Xian Haixu walked over excitedly, but when he saw Li Qingmei, a look of worry appeared on his face. Li Qingmei's face looked a little pale. Although she used thick concealer, it was still obvious that she was in poor condition. Qingmei, what's wrong with you? When Li Qingmei saw Xian Haixu, she looked away and pretended to change into cotton slippers. It's nothing. I think I have a cold, so I went to the hospital. Although Xian Haixu felt that his wife was a little strange today, he just wanted to share his happiness with Li Qingmei at this moment, so he didn't ask any further questions. He took out the cup from the commander-in-chief's mansion like he was presenting a treasure and told Li Qingmei boastfully, From today on, I am Commander Shan's personal chef. Qingmei, our lives will get better and better, and I will definitely make you happy. He raised the glass, looked at the colorful light reflected from it under the light, his face intoxicated. But he didn't notice the helplessness and sadness in Li Qingmei's eyes. That's great. Li Qingmei's voice was so soft as if she had no strength, but Xian Haixio didn't notice this. In the following days, Xian Haixio officially entered Commander Shan's official residence and became his personal Chinese chef. Of course, a series of detailed inspections are required before this. It was necessary to ensure that there was nothing wrong with his health, and he was searched from inside to outside every day when he entered the official residence. But for Xian Haixio, these are not problems at all compared to the honor of being able to cook for the commander. Gradually, as he spent more time with Commander Shan, he discovered that this man was not what the outside world said he was. Although he is a godlike being, he speaks very rudely and often uses words like bastard. But you have to admit that he is a real gourmet and is extremely picky about what he eats. The environment in North Africa is still capable of growing some cold-resistant vegetables, but only a small number of high-ranking officials can eat them. But the commander-in-chief's table was always filled with all kinds of fresh meat and seasonal vegetables. With the planting technology of the mid-21st century, this is not difficult to achieve. Compared to ensuring that Commander Shan can eat well, wasting some technological resources on this is, of course, a trivial matter. Chef Xian, the fried rice you made today didn't taste right, did it? Commander Shan suddenly said this to Xian Haixio during lunch one day. After hearing this, Xian Haixio thought about it carefully. All ingredients are carefully selected to ensure they are the freshest. Even the rice used to make emperor fried rice has to be left out for a few seconds. No, Commander. I can guarantee that there will be no problem with the ingredients. Xian Haixio has been working as a chef for Commander Shan for 3 months. He was not a native of North Africa, but from the Huaxiu Kingdom. Commander Shan had done business in eastern Guangdong for several years, so he was particularly kind to him. Over time, he gradually became familiar with Commander Shan. Xian Haixio possesses the wisdom that the Huaxiu people have possessed since ancient times. In terms of human relationships and worldly wisdom, the Huaxiu people rank second, and no one dares to rank first. His intelligence and talent were revealed at this time. Commander Shan's status is so transcendent that everyone around him treats him with too much awe. Although he holds supreme power in the Kingdom of Cage, Commander Shan has no friends around him. Therefore, Xian Haixio boldly believed that Commander Shan wanted a friend more than his subordinates, who only knew how to raise their hands and cry and sing praises. Therefore, he deliberately and boldly said some insignificant but slightly offensive words in front of Commander Shan. For example, the commander particularly likes to reverse day and night, holding banquets and various entertainment parties at night. Gambling cards, racing, and even some extremely exaggerated games. Commander Shan loves playing cards and mahjong, but at the card table, his subordinates naturally let him win. No one dares to challenge the commander's wisdom and bravery at this time. And Xian Haixio boldly won the game of cards against Commander Shan. He controlled the scale very well, and the two sides fought back and forth. In the end, he won a little bit against Commander Shan. As a native of eastern Guangdong, mahjong is ingrained in me since birth, so it is naturally easy for me to beat those bad card players in North Africa. Because of this, he was rewarded with a lot of money by Commander Shan. Chef Xian, you're very good at playing cards. This is the first time I've seen a card player who can compete with me. Not long after, Commander Shan specially organized another card game and beat Xian Haixio with all his money. Xian Haixio cooperated very well and acted extremely frustrated, which made Commander Shan laugh happily. In the end, Commander Shan not only generously returned the money he won, but also rewarded him with some precious supplies. It was with this kind of cleverness that Xian Haixio became a celebrity around the well-known Commander Shan. A cook who loves money. Commander Shan has no popularity and no military force, so he is willing to keep such a character by his side, like an ancient jester. Sometimes, Commander Shan would even treat Xian Haixio as a friend and take him to the toilet together. They would even pee next to each other and make fun of Xian Haixio's size. Xian Haixio would not be so conceited as to think that a figure like Commander Sion really regarded him as a friend. He knew it was just a game between friends. At this time, facing Commander Shan's questioning of Emperor Fried Rice, Xian Haixio stated his reasons very easily. He didn't think that his cooking was not good enough because he had to taste the food himself before making sure it was okay before giving it to Commander Shan. Commander Shan put down his chopsticks and called over Lieutenant Colonel Chuize. I felt something was wrong with today's meal. Chuize nodded. I'll go investigate now. Xian Haixio couldn't help feeling a little nervous. Could it be that there was really something wrong with today's materials? If someone tampered with the commander's food, his life would be in danger. But he clearly tasted it himself in front of Chuize. If anything happens to the commander, he won't survive. After a while, Chuize came to the commander and said something in his ear. Commander Shan suddenly laughed happily with his head raised. He pointed at Xian Haixio and said, Xian Haixio, you've made a mistake this time. Xian Haixio's heart skipped a beat, and he didn't know what was going on. Commander Shan asked Choi Take and Hyun Hae Su to explain the situation clearly. Chuize said to Xian Haixio, one batch of rice used in the kitchen today is from half a month ago. Xian Haixio widened his eyes. He didn't expect that this would be the reason. He remembered that there was indeed a small amount of stale rice in the bag. He was afraid of wasting this precious food, so he mixed it with new rice. I thought it was just a little bit and there wouldn't be any problem. But to his surprise, Commander Shan could taste it in one bite. He apologized quickly. Commander Shan was very proud of himself for defeating Xian Haixio. He waved his hand generously and told Xian Haixio to use the best ingredients when cooking for him in the future and not to be unnecessarily frugal. The days passed one by one. Xian Haixio often attends Commander Shan's dinner parties, and he gets drunk every time because Commander Shan likes people who drink heartily. However, to be more precise, he likes to see others lose their composure after getting drunk in front of him, and it amuses him. Xian Haixio knew how to behave himself, so he got himself drunk on purpose. The glass cabinet at home that was used to store wine glasses was full, so he had to ask his wife Li Qingmei to buy a new one. But this time, Li Qingmei remained silent after hearing his words. She sat on the sofa in front of the window, staring into the distance, lost in thought. Xian Haixio also noticed his wife's abnormality and couldn't help but worry. After the end of the world, many people will suddenly suffer a mental breakdown and choose to end their lives. He had seen some people whose symptoms were similar to his wife's. Qingmei, what's wrong with you? Are you feeling unwell? Let me take you to the hospital. In the past, if he and Li Qingmei were sick, they could only go to the small clinic in the community for treatment. Medical treatment is free, but doctors can only prescribe some simple medicines and painkillers, and intravenous drips are a relatively luxurious treatment method. But now he is already a popular favorite and can take Li Qingmei to a higher-level hospital. When she heard that she had to go to the hospital, Li Qingmei subconsciously shrank back, then quickly shook her head. No, I won't go. Xian Haixio finally realized that there was a big problem with his wife through Li Qingmei's reaction. This made him extremely confused, because over this period of time, their family status has become higher and higher, and their living conditions have become better and better. A rich life and a high status should make Li Qingmei happy. But in the past few months, Li Qingmei's mood has become worse and worse, and she even refuses to let him touch her during sex. Xian Haixio vaguely felt that something was wrong. He came to the front, held Li Qingmei's shoulders tightly, stared at her and asked word by word. Qingmei, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Li Qingmei looked away in panic. I just feel a little uncomfortable. Just rest at home. That's all. Yes, that's it. She spoke haltingly. She was not a good liar, which made Xian Haixio feel a little more annoyed. No, you must be sick now. I must take you to the hospital. In a foreign country, Li Qingmei is his only relative. He couldn't let anything happen to Li Qingmei, so he ignored Li Qingmei's dissuasion and chose to take her to the University Hospital of Pilasang for treatment. Faced with this beloved loved one who had recently become extremely popular, the doctors and the hospital naturally did not dare to neglect him and immediately arranged the best doctor for Li Qingmei. Xian Haixio was waiting outside. He leaned against the wall, feeling vaguely uneasy for some reason. Feeling very irritated, he took out a box of cigarettes from his pocket. This rare item was naturally a generous reward from Commander Sean after a gambling game. Xian Haixio didn't know why, but his hands were shaking slightly as he lit the lighter. Could it be that Li Qingmei betrayed him? Are you secretly having an affair with another man? The thought made his breathing quicken. But in recent months, whenever he wanted to be intimate with Li Sungmi, she would refuse on the grounds that she was not feeling well. The answer is almost obvious. Xian Haixio took a deep puff of the cigarette and the nicotine, and tar made him cough violently twice. He was a little panicked, but Li Qingmei really betrayed him. What should he do? Break up with Li Sungmi? After anxiously waiting for a while, the doctor came out and looked at Xian Haixio with a hint of reproach in his eyes. "Doctor, how is my wife?" The doctor pulled Xian Haixio aside and said in a calm tone, "Mr. Xian Haixio, I know you are young and strong. But when it comes to sexual intercourse between husband and wife, I suggest that it is better to use normal methods. Some more violent methods should be used as little as possible." Boom. Hearing this, it was as if a bomb exploded in Xian Haixio's mind. At this point, what else is there that you don't understand? Li Qingmei did betray him and did unspeakable things with another man. His eyes turned red and his fists clenched so tightly that they made a creaking sound. Madam's body cannot withstand the beating, and she is seriously injured. I suggest that she have a good rest after returning, and not to have sex with you within 3 months. Xian Haixio nodded with difficulty. At this moment, he couldn't lose his temper. Otherwise, the news of him being cuckolded would soon spread throughout the entire Prison top management, making him a laughingstock. He did not forget the fine tradition of the Huashu people that family disgrace should not be made public. The most important thing for the Huashu people is face. If they lose their face, they can't keep their dignity either. Xian Haixio had a gloomy face. He didn't know how he walked into that ward. Li Qingmei was lying on the bed, still receiving N4 drip. Her pale face looked haggard and bloodless. When she saw Xian Haixio, she quickly turned her face away and grabbed the quilt tightly with both hands. Xian Haixio sneered in his heart. He didn't know why this woman acted so aggrieved even though she had clearly betrayed him. Thinking about how I traveled thousands of miles from Guangdong and Huashu Kingdom to this remote place in North Africa, wasn't it just to make more money so that I could go back and marry her? As a result, now he has lost his home and his wife. What did she have to feel wronged about? Xian Haixio walked to Li Qingmei's bed and grabbed her slender wrist. "Tell me the truth. Who is that man?" "Li Qingmei, I'm so good to you. I really want to give you my heart. After the end of the world, if it weren't for me, could you have survived until now? But why did you betray me? Why?" He finally yelled, and Li Qingmei's face became panicked, and she quickly reached out to cover his mouth. "Don't shout. You must not shout." Xian Haixio sneered in his heart. "You can do such a shameful thing. Are you afraid of being found out? Disgusting. You really make me sick now." He cursed angrily, and as he cursed, 2 lines of tears flowed from the corners of his eyes. Seeing him like this, Li Qingmei couldn't help but cover her face and burst into tears. The 2 of them were in this ward. Xian Haixio was crying and laughing at the same time, looking like he was about to collapse. Xian Haixio's face was full of despair, and he said to Li Qingmei coldly, "Now tell me, who is that bastard? I am now a favored person of the KG Kingdom. Whoever dares to touch my woman, I will kill him." He shouted angrily, his voice hoarse like a drake, which was an expression of extreme grief and anger. Li Qingmei's eyes had already become blurred, and they were filled with grievance and despair, but she still shook her head vigorously, refusing to say the man's name. Xian Haixio's eyes were bloodshot. "It's already this late, and you still don't want to tell me? Okay, just wait for me. I'll let Chui Zhe help me investigate now. Nothing that happened in this city of Prisang can't be investigated by Chui Zhe's personal guards. When the time comes, I must kill him." At this moment, Li Qingmei's eyes were filled with panic. She suddenly got up from the bed, rushed to Xian Haixio, and hugged him tightly. "I beg you, don't investigate this matter. If you investigate, you will die." Xian Haixio's heart suddenly sank. He sensed something was wrong from Li Qingmei's panicked tone. So, he coldly lifted up Li Qingmei's face, stared at her, and said, "I don't have to investigate, but you tell me who that man is. Otherwise, I will never let you two go." Li Qingmei's eyes were full of sorrow, but she knew Xian Haixio's character. If she didn't tell him, he would never let it go. She bit her lip, tears streaming down her face. Yes, it's Commander Sean. A thunder exploded directly in Xian Haixio's mind. His body froze in place, and the name caused his brain to shut down instantly. Commander Sean? He is the godlike figure of the KG country, the sun that never sets and is most beloved by the people of the KG country in the last days. Was he the man who granted him the title of the favored one and helped him rise to prominence? No. No. It can't be him. It absolutely can't be him. How could it be him? If that man was him, wouldn't Xian Haixio become a huge joke? If that man was him, Xian Haixio could only endure wearing the green hat and would never be able to take revenge. In Li Qingmei's eyes, Xian Haixio's eyes were dazed, and he kept shaking his head, muttering, "No, it can't be him. It absolutely can't be him. How could it be the commander-in-chief?" She hurriedly reached out to cover Xian Haixio's mouth and warned in panic, "Don't say any more, Haixio. Don't say any more. If you say anything more, we will all die." Xian Haixio suddenly came back to his senses, and looking at Li Qingmei's pitiful face, he felt mixed emotions in his heart. Humiliation, anger, doubt, despair, collapse. All the negative emotions almost overwhelmed him. Xian Haixio was in a daze and didn't know how he got back. But there was a faint voice telling him that this matter must not be discussed in the hospital. He got in the car and took Li Qingmei home. The two of them didn't say anything along the way. There was no wind or snow outside, the sun was slightly yellow, and the temperature in Africa was still pleasant at this time. Turning on the air conditioner in the car is like the living standard of the upper class. The funniest thing is that this car was also given to him by Commander Sean.